All right, all right, all right. We are ready to rock and roll. If you are looking to grow and scale your real estate business, you are in the right place today. Joining me this afternoon is Mr. Stephen Bishop, and we are going to talk about how Mr. Bishop did $3 million in his first 3 months as a real estate agent here on the Love Ohio Living team. Super excited. I've done 100, maybe more of these interviews, and my favorite ones are always our team members. I love talking to our team members the most just because it gives me the feedback I need to know we're on the right path for helping agents like yourself, Stephen, and others who join us in helping build an amazing real estate business. So without further ado, welcome to the show, brother. How are you doing?
Not too bad, Mikey. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, this one's been a long time coming, my man. We've been saying we're going to put this one on the calendars, and it was time to go ahead and get it done. And so that's what we're here to do this afternoon. Before we dive in, though, brother, tell me, just give us a little bit of a backstory on Stephen Bishop, the person, because you're still, I mean, by most measures, you're still a pretty young guy. And I think people are going to want to know what you did prior to real estate and what led you into real estate.
Gotcha. Yeah, no problem. So I actually started in restaurant world. Did that for 10 years, bartending, managing, serving, pretty much everything to do with the front of house. And then unfortunately COVID hit. And once COVID hit, I got laid off. And, you know, I have 2 children and a wife. And I thought to myself during that time period that, you know, instead of waiting on the call to get back into the restaurant world, I wanted to do something more for my children and wife and myself. So I went ahead and met with you, decided that this was the journey I wanted to take a hold of. You gave me an opportunity to be an ISA for a year before actually getting licensed, which put me so far ahead of the curve when it comes to getting licensed and taking off. I was able to learn from you and the agents on the team every single day about what to do once you get a lead and convert it into a client. I got to learn how to do lead generation and how to manage those leads while you're trying to convert them into clients. And it just really put me ahead of the curve for, you know, once I got licensed.
Yeah. I love bringing people in as an ISA first. And by the way, ISA, inside sales agent, if you don't know what that means, their role is essentially to intercept the leads that are being generated and nurture them to the point to where they're ready to set an appointment. And then basically we just give them out, we hand them out to agents, right? And we expect the agent to convert that lead into a sale. And then Stephen gets a portion of that sale as a bonus, and Stephen did really well for us in that position. But I think infinitely more powerful than the money he earned as an ISA was the experience he got. And why I love people coming in as an ISA right out of the gate is they really get to learn what it takes to be successful in real estate. I mean, we all know, we see on TV, you know, real estate is, you know, I drive a fancy car, I pull up to a mansion, I open the door, and then I get $100,000 commission, right? That's what it looks like on, you know, $1 million listing New York or $1 million listing LA. And we all know that that's only half the story, right? And it's not the story here in Ohio at all. But there's a lot of hard work that goes into getting that client to meet you out at a property. And they never show that on any of the real estate shows because it's not the glamorous side of real estate. There's a lot of work that goes into getting that client to show up. And so starting Stephen off as an inside sales agent, he really got to learn the ropes and what it took to succeed as a real estate agent, because he learned those habits before he actually had to go out and become a real estate agent. And so by the time he transitioned into being a full-time realtor, he already knew he was that much further ahead of everybody else because he learned the hardest things to do before he even got his license. And so again, for me, bringing somebody in as an ISA, I love doing that. We don't always do that. Oftentimes we meet people just, right before real estate school or during real estate school, and they come in and join us right out of the gate as a real estate agent. But for you, it just worked out where we were able to come to an agreement, bring you in, and help you make some money while you got your license. And then, you hit the ground running. And brother, $3 million in your first 3 months, closed and pending, is just, it's amazing. And certainly I'm super proud to see you come into our system and just knock it out of the park. Tell me this. I mean, it's a blessing and a curse to coming into an environment like ours. It's a blessing because our business, our platform is set up so that somebody like you can come in and we're giving you all the tools, systems, and resources in order to succeed. The curse is you don't see how it is when you join another brokerage, because in most cases, if I'm bringing somebody in, and they've been somewhere else, they don't get any resources. They don't have any, I mean, they basically get a phone and a desk and a phone book and say, hey, go sell something to somebody that says they're interested in selling, or hit up your SOI every other day for a referral. And so bringing you into this system, it's been an experience for you, in that you're learning, okay, this is a business, right? This is not, I do whatever I want every day. This is a business. I have to show up. I have to do the right things. But tell me this, obviously your experiences as an ISA, what did you learn specifically, I should say, as an ISA, that helped you hit the ground running when you became a real estate agent?
Really, the biggest thing was to be able to lead generate and talk to people about what it is we do and how we can help them, and how to manage those leads from the time you do get a good contact with them.
Yeah.
That's what really set me ahead. I didn't have to learn how to lead generate. I didn't have to learn what to do once somebody says, yeah, I want a house. I already knew how to do all that because I'd already been learning from you and the other agents on our team for a year.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good point, man. And the thing about it is, you and I both know how important leads are. Without leads, you don't have a business, and that's true for not just real estate. That's true for any industry. If you don't have people coming in and consuming your product, you can't make any money. If you can't make any money, you can't pay the bills. And so I love bringing somebody like you in who is hungry, humble, smart. You're ready to learn. You're absorbing everything like a sponge, and then just giving you the tools and resources and watching you run with them. As I look out, and you've had an opportunity now to look out into our industry, and the failure rate is roughly about 85% of all second-year agents are out of the business. And obviously, you're not in your second year yet, but you're succeeding in your first year. And we look to, when we bring somebody in, is to reverse that, right? Is where 85% of our agents are not just surviving, they're thriving, and only 15% don't make it.
Yeah.
And that's usually because they're either just not a fit, or they don't have they're not building the habits in order to have success in our industry. So talk to me a little bit about this. Talk to me a little bit about some of the habits you've developed over, let's just say, the last 90 days that you think are serving you now in your real estate business.
Well, obviously, you're always learning when it comes to lead generating and what successes you can come from that. So every day I'm constantly learning how to talk to people and how to convert leads.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm constantly learning about the industry just as a whole, from you, other agents on the team, being there every day, making sure you lead generate every single day. You always tell us, if you're in real estate, you're doing one of three things. And if you're not doing one of those three things, then you're not doing any business. Being lead generate, negotiate contracts, as well as being on appointments.
Yeah. And that's it, buddy. That's the name of the game, man. I'm curious with you, and obviously we all, one of the biggest things we do, or we teach, is the ideal day. And that's just following a schedule, basically, that you're putting in writing. We use a Google Calendar, and we literally build out our schedules for every single day, Monday through Friday. And that ideal day looks like one of those three things, right? We're either on appointments, we're negotiating contracts, or we're lead generating. And so, when I look at a calendar, I look at you all's calendars from time to time, and typically they're filled up. When you say lead generating, what does that look like for you specifically right now?
Well, you got to find a platform that works for you. Once those leads come in, you're constantly calling them until you can get a contact. I like to split my day up of lead generating into certain categories. You have your P1s, which are brand new leads, hasn't been attempted or anything. You always want to start off with those through the day. Usually after that, I'll do some home searches for clients that I already have.
Mhm.
After lunchtime, about that time, moving into the P2s, people that we've tried to get a hold of that we haven't quite gotten a hold of yet, as well as the P3s.
Yeah.
And then in other platforms, just always following up, making sure that your clients are being taken care of.
Yeah. And do you feel like you're getting a good amount of leads here?
Oh, yeah, plenty.
Yeah.
Constantly have clients.
Yeah, and I love being able to provide that as well. And Stephen and I, we're partnered on a few different websites. One being, obviously we have a partnership with Zillow, and you do really, really well in our Zillow partnership. Talk to me a little bit about that.
I mean, the nice thing about Zillow is, like you always talk about, they're bottom of the funnel. They're reaching out to you to set an appointment immediately. So, you take that appointment, you get that face-to-face, and you see what it's all about. And like you said, Zillow's been great to me.
Yeah. Yeah. And we have a good conversion rate on Zillow, and we have other platforms like HomeLight, and you do really well with the HomeLight leads, and those are warmer leads as well. And then we have our Commissions Inc. platform where we're generating anywhere from 500 to 750 unique buyer and seller lead registrations every single month. And as you go up the funnel, the nurture time or the conversion rate obviously goes down a little bit, but what we're looking to do is we're optimizing our time as real estate agents, because I could hand you a phone book and say, hey, call from A to Z and see if there's anybody in there who's looking to buy or sell a home, right? Yeah. And if you call the entire phone book, you're going to get in touch with somebody, but the reality of it is it's not optimizing your time. You're not able to, you wouldn't be spending your time effectively, because when you call somebody, the chances of them saying that they're interested in buying or selling are not very high. Whereas the leads we're providing, Commissions Inc. leads, right? These are people registering on our website, and we know on some level that they're interested in doing business. And same thing with HomeLight. These are people that are registering. Same thing with Zillow. The good thing about Zillow is typically those come in as appointments, and we know we just have to set the appointment, build rapport, so we can sell them a house or sell their house or both, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, obviously I look at this as kind of our 90-day review, and it's been just an amazing journey to take with you. I'm curious, like what are you working on now? What is kind of your major focus right now?
Right now, it's just continuing to scale my business. I'm really trying to get out into the marketing world and getting my name out there versus having to make calls every day, which obviously you still make calls every day, but I want to branch out my business when it comes to the marketing side, as well as, I'd like to end the year roughly $7-8 million.
Yeah. I love that, man. $7-8 million your first year in real estate, dude. How would that feel?
That would feel wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm on my way there too.
Yeah. And you are well on your way, my friend. And the coolest thing about this whole journey is that, you were actually a referral from Pat Hume, who is our
inspector.
Our inspector. Pat's a great guy, man. And I'm so glad he recommended you, because I mean, you are really, you are the type of person that we're looking for. You are the avatar of the type of person that we're looking for to plug into these systems. Because on some level, you just have to, when you're getting into something new, and this is true for anything, by the way, but is especially true for real estate. When you're getting in something new, you basically have to just dump your ego and say, you know what, I don't know what I don't know, but I'm willing to empty my cup and have someone else pour into it so that I can learn, because I want to scale my business. And the reason why we set up this business model the way we did is because I remember getting into the business when I was just like you, and I thought, man, I didn't have any money. I had a bunch of time, but I thought, what if I reverse engineered this? What if I said, hey, I'm gonna create a platform where people like Steven can plug into. I'll offer all the leads, accountability, coaching, resources, leads. I'll offer all in a full-time administrative staff. Put these things together and offer them to our agents and see what they can do, and obviously you've done really well with it, because I thought, man, if I'd had all that stuff when I started out, I could have gone so much faster in scaling my business. And because the reality of it is, I just didn't have the money to pay for those things, but now I do. And so if I can pay for them and plug somebody like you into the system, we can watch your business just take off.
Yeah.
Tell me, like, when we talk about the support and, the coaching and the resources, what does that mean for you?
Oh, it means everything. Like you said, you go into it not knowing a whole bunch about anything. I'm not too, above myself to reach out for help in any situation. And, the fact that you're one phone call, one text, one office away at all times of the day makes everything that much better. Like, I had a question for you last night and you got back to me within 5 minutes and I got a contract together because of it. So, those kind of things, it just makes everything.
Yeah. And, when I talk to new agents typically, or just agents in general, I think their biggest concern is am I going to have somebody there to answer my questions? And certainly I try to make myself as available as possible. That is big, even in just, if you look at our industry, one of the biggest, I think, complaints from consumer is the fact that realtors, they don't communicate well. And that's true for a lot of service industries. So I pride myself on being available and being able to communicate with you all. I think for you, it's like watching this progression in your business and seeing you do what you've done, kind of your first 3 months in this business. It's so refreshing for me to see that when you plug somebody into this system, how well it works. And so the cool thing about that is it pushes me to grow and to get better, because I have to have, my world has to be bigger than yours, because if you're going to fit in here, I've got to be pushing myself so that your world is consistently going to fit in my world, because if I don't, you'll outgrow my world and you'll leave. But the relationship is symbiotic, because I'm getting as much from you as you're getting from me, because you're pushing me to be a better person.
Yeah.
And in doing that, I think that learning from you and seeing what we want, because we go through agents here. I mean, we've had agents here, and this, you've seen them come and go, where they're really just they're not consistent, and they're not dedicated to their craft. And you certainly are the opposite of that. You've been very consistent. You've been dedicated to your craft. Why? Like, where does that kind of work effort come from? And before I have you answer that question, one of the reasons why I love partnering with you is the fact that you and I are kind of cut from the same cloth. Yeah. We weren't straight A students growing up. We weren't your run of the mill all-American boys. But we put it together, you know what I mean, in real estate. And so I want to know kind of, where does that work ethic come from, Stephen?
My work ethic was really installed in me. I have 2 wonderful parents that worked very, very hard my entire life. And, we never had to ask for anything. They were always provided for us. We were always able to see them pushing themselves each and every day firsthand. I also grew up in sports my entire life, and I'm sure a lot of that has to do with it. And then obviously now I have a wife and 2 children, and, I have to be the best version of myself so that I can give them everything that my parents were able to give me.
Yeah, that's awesome, brother. That's awesome, man. Well, let me ask you this, because really the type of agents that will watch this video are the type who are looking to grow, who are looking to get better. They're searching for advice, right? And so what advice would you impart upon somebody looking to get their real estate license, or who's already licensed and maybe struggling, or just wants to sell more property?
Yeah. So obviously, there's a couple of things that I would say. If you're looking to get your real estate license, you haven't done that yet, I highly recommend reaching out to somebody about an ISA position. You will learn more through that ISA position than you will learn through any of the schooling you're going to take. That's first and foremost. Another one is look at the teams that you're joining. What do they provide you? What kind of conversion rates do they have? Are they willing to help you, coach you? I've talked to agents that, they can't even get a hold of their broker for people to answer their questions. So that's a huge thing. The fact that, I joined your team, I've had everything provided for me that I need. I just have to go out and seize the opportunity.
Yep. And I love it, brother. I so love it. And I love your story. And I'm so blessed to be a part of your journey, and can't wait to see where this goes. I have no doubt in my mind you will hit $7 or $8 million this year, and I can't wait to celebrate that at the end of the year. You know, we're going to put a bow on this one, but you know, for anybody out there who's watching this video and they're interested in how Steven got to $3 million in his first 30 days, how can they get in touch with you, my man?
Well, they can look me up on our website, steven.searchsundayhomes.com, or my cell phone number is 937-475-2615. And lastly, my email is Steven, spelled the way it is on the red box, at loveohioliving.com. Feel free to reach out to me, and I'd love to talk to you.
I love it. I love it. I love it, man. And we are absolutely, we're always looking for talented agents, or agents who are hungry, humble, smart, agents who want to learn, agents who want to grow, agents who want to scale a real estate business and sell more real estate and build an amazing lifestyle. Make sure, call, email, text. You can get a hold of me on social media. Would love to have a conversation with you. But for now, we are going to put a bow on this one. Steven, thank you so much for joining today. And thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, my friend.
Of course, no problem. Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely, brother. Till next time.
Yep.